be the keynote speaker at a birthday party this evening. I know. But seriously, it's been such an unbelievable day already, and it's only the start of an amazing night here. As I can pretty much guarantee that we haven't heard the last Justin Bieber. Am I right, Mr. DJ? All that. I do want to start off by thanking Mr. and Mrs. Marshall. Thank you, clap for them. And Mr. and Mrs. Sutherland for hosting us here at such a beautiful venue. I know that the location might have not made for the easiest of weddings to plan, but I think we can all agree that everything about this weekend has been so uniquely Sean and Annie. From the gift bags, the artsy gift bags, the letterpress print name cards, the pizza party, the Marshall family sing-along last night with Sean Marshall, who's been wonderful doing the shoeless Dave Matthews dance. It was so perfectly Sean and Annie, which is exactly how it should be, and I think it speaks volumes about them that this room full of people are here tonight. It also helps that we're just far enough away that like the creepy cousins didn't show up. There's like a million Marshalls, and the creepy Marshalls aren't even here, so we didn't have to pay for them, which is wonderful. Anyway, for those of you who might not know me, my name's Kevin Hopkins. While I'm technically here as Sean's best man, I've actually been friends with his wife longer than I've been friends with him. We'll get to that in a little bit. And over the last few months, for some unknown reason, Annie has repeatedly reminded me that this is a best man's toast and not a best man's roast. And each time I have assured her that I would never treat such a distinguished honor such as this with anything but the utmost class, respect, and honesty. Bridezilla. I think it's the altitude, sorry. Anyway. Sean has been my best friend since our sophomore year together in high school, whereas Mrs. Sutherland so beautifully alluded to last evening, we would spend our weekdays trying to outduel each other for class clown, and our weeknights cruising the streets of Denville and Rockaway in his pimped out car. Now I could lie and tell you that we were trying to pick up chicks, but we were not. The truth is, we were usually just screaming emo music at the top of our lungs while trying to run our beat-up, hand-me-down vehicles into the ground first. Sean would win that battle. However, I can say with confidence that he's the only person to put rims, subwoofers, CD entertainment unit, and an exhaust system that made his car sound like a pack of Harleys into a 1988 Buick LeSabre. He did. They had neon blue lights on the bottom. If Fast and the Furious had been filmed 15 years earlier, his car would have been a prop car. Sean and I didn't go to the same college together, and we didn't even live in the same city once we graduated. But our friendship stayed strong throughout road trips, vacations, and our favorite pastime, moshing with teenagers at chemo concerts. Yes. There are so many qualities that I do admire about Sean. Anyone that knows him knows that his positive attitude towards life is just infectious. His creativity, which in high school I just called doodling, would eventually lead to a successful career in graphic design. But it's really his sense of humor that makes every conversation that I have with him one that I look forward to. And adding the little spark plug that is Miss Anne-Marie Marshall has only enhanced each and every one of those characteristics of Sean. Now, I wasn't there when Annie first introduced Sean to her parents, but I would have paid a lot of money to have seen their reaction. When in rolls this kid, quite frankly looks like a homeless skateboarder with his raggedy flannel shirts, beard that has remnants of lunch left in it, his flat-brim wool caps that he barely puts on his head, his anorexic jeans that don't even do justice to skinny jeans, and to top it off, the awful, awful tattoos that cover his arms. Let's face it, Mr. and Mrs. Marshall, you were terrified. The combination of knowing just how special Annie was already, and then meeting Sean, you probably just chalked her up as a loss. Which is fine, considering you're still batting about 800. Which is something to be proud of Christopher. Where is he? He's the only one that's still on the fence. But there's still time for Coke. There's still time. I'm kidding, of course. I'm not kidding about Sean's awful tattoos. They are atrocious. But about how everyone in this room feels about Sean and Annie when they are together. We've all been blessed to watch them grow together over the last 6 years. And while this day may be the day where Annie is officially announced as a part of the Sutherland family, it's pretty clear to me that she's been a part of it from the beginning. This is the cute part. Whether it was helping care for Sean's mother at the hospital, or being there to babysit Austin and act as a caring aunt, or taking in an abused dog into your home. I wish Artie could have been here this evening. It was clear that Annie was the perfect fit. As Mr. Sutherland and Ryan spoke about last night, this wedding here this evening is all about family, and they have now got the perfect daughter, granddaughter, sister, and wife that the Sutherland family could ever ask for. And I think that some of those characteristics about Annie speak volumes about her character, even if she masks that character sometimes with colorful language and inappropriate dancing, which I'm sure we'll see this evening. Yeah, pretty well. Yes, pretty well. I've done that. Sean, Annie, I'm really happy that you chose this location in Vermont as the site of your wedding, as this place, actually a few miles down the road from here, is actually the site of a few of my favorite memories with both of you. We used to take ski trips here when my wife, Erin, and I did not, Annie and I didn't know how to ski. Sean and Erin, talented skiers, snowboarders. And their idea of teaching us how to ski was to put us at the top of Black Diamond and wish us luck. So 5 years later, here I am, my back, my spine, I finally started to readjust to where they were beforehand, and it's nice to see that Annie's knees have come back into shape after being in a permanent pizza wedge for about 72 straight hours. Bruised and beaten, Annie and I would ultimately give up on skiing on those trips and end up relaxing in the lounge, in the lodge, too. Letting Sean and Erin have their fun without having to babysit us. Although they would probably regret not hiring one, as by the time they came back from skiing, we would need a different type of babysitter. We came back completely overserved. Annie running around the bar with arms up in the air, screaming, "The hawk will never die." Now, I've been close friends with Annie ever since I went to Morristown prom 2 years in a row when I was in high school. Morristown people here as well? Yeah. Great prom. And Sean, for your sake, consider yourself lucky that I did not go with Annie. It might not have worked out the same way. But here we are, and I couldn't be more proud to see my best friend, Sean, get married to a woman that I am 100% positive was put on this planet to be Mrs. Sean Sutherland. So, in honor of this wonderful couple, I think we should all pay homage to them this evening by drinking as much as we possibly can before 9:30, and then passing out randomly somewhere in the lot. Join me in raising your glasses. Second fist on if you got it. To Sean and Annie, a life full of love and happiness. I love you too. You're the best. Cheers.